What's up, everybody? Back in the shop on a Saturday, and yeah, I'm gonna do some more work on the 62. I checked my toolbox and I found that I did have a couple of the door catches, three of them to be exact. So the other two I already threw on the car. But the problem is, I still don't have the latch. I don't have this side, but I got this side. Still need a couple screws that I can grab off the other car. But anyway, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about ordering the latches and see where we go. I just want to line up the door just right. You can see it's off there, you know. So I want to line it up a little bit and get that together so we can, you know, continue with the body work. But even without having that, I'm going to go ahead today and start applying some of the guide coat to the quarter panel and blocking on it a little bit. It's a really hot day today, so I don't know how much I'm going to do. At the same time, I want to do some work on the Cadillac outside. I showed you guys the other day I needed to do some work on it, brake line, and I still got to do the fuel pump. I did the brake line yesterday, and I was going to try to tackle the fuel pump today. But we got the threat of rain and all that, and I got it outside. You know, anyway, we'll see. I think I might just focus on the deuce today, which is my primary objective. But just letting you know, from time to time, I do have other things I'm working on that I don't really show you guys, right? Like, I was thinking about doing a couple videos on the Cadillac, but it's not, I mean, who wants to see a brake line getting done or fuel pump? Maybe the fuel pump is interesting, but yeah, I don't have time right now. So, yeah, so that's the plan. We're going to jump on the deuce and see what we can do. For right now, I think I am going to go out there to the Cadillac and at least spray down some of the bolts with some penetrating fluid, WD-40. Yeah, because they were, man, like it's like real rusty. That particular car is kind of rusty underneath, but I'm trying to salvage it just for cruising, you know. But anyway, I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and get on the deuce, get back to doing what we planned on doing. So hang tight, stay tuned. It's your boy Shawnee C at Motor City Customs on a hot as hell Saturday, trying to make something happen. So I got the fan going on full blast. I did finally throw on my microphone today, so hopefully that's helping with the audio. I noticed in the last video it was kind of not so great, but you know, and there's no excuse for that. I've had these microphones for a while now and just haven't connected them. So let's see how it works today, guys. I'll be back in a minute and we'll get cracking on the Deuce project. That's right. Stay tuned. All right, guys. We're back at it. I went out there, messed with the Cadillac a little bit. And, but you know, like I said, we got to focus on the Deuce. That's the primary objective. So, where we're at and what I'm getting ready to do. So, I did spend some time adjusting the door. If you had a sharp eye, you might have noticed that, but it lines up much better now. Yeah, and it's not perfect because we don't have the latch, but it's in good shape for the purposes that we, you know, for our purposes rather. So, shouldn't be a problem to go ahead now and move forward with the guide coat. So that's what I'm about to do. Let me just show you a little bit more about what we're using. This is the stuff I'm trying to use today. It says you can use it wet or dry, but I always use it dry. It's basically just some black powder. I don't know what exactly is in the powder, but it comes with gloves. Because this stuff, apparently you don't want to get it in your skin, right? You don't want your skin absorbing this stuff, and God knows what could happen. But they do send at least one pair of latex gloves. So I'm about to throw those on and start applying it to the quarter. I mean, there's already some imperfections, but we're trying to highlight some of the gross imperfections, if any exist, which is always a little something, but we shouldn't find anything too bad. But the idea is we want to get this taken care of 100% so we can now move on to the other side. So Yeah, let me open up this pack of guide coat. We'll start applying it and then move on to the next step. Hold tight, everybody. Be right back. All right, all right. So let's see. Got the guide coat situated. Turn the fan down a little bit just in case it was interfering with any of the audio. Again, I'm hoping with the mic now things are much clearer, but we'll see. And yeah, got the guide coat. Open it up, and now you basically just want to shake it up. Get some powder on the applicator, and you don't want to do that, but you want to move it around a little bit because it only has these few holes here. So, and you want to kind of spin it around, get a good amount of powder on the applicator, and then we'll just start wiping the side of the body like you would if you're putting powder on your own damn body. You know, it's not rocket science, but this kind of gets in all the nooks and crannies. I mean, that's kind of a bit much for one spot, but one area, but that's all right. We gotta block it, sand it out anyway. You don't need to go too crazy. Just get a good coating of the stuff on the area that you're gonna sand. Already you can start to see some scratches and imperfections. At least I can. I don't know if you guys can see from there. But yeah, that's all we really need. We don't have to go, like I said, too extra crazy with it. So we'll start with that spot and we need to block it now. It's just that easy. You can do the kind of the same thing with spray paint, but I don't know. This is just the way I've done it. Let me find my paper now. I should already had this sandpaper prep. This is the 120. No, it's 80 grit. Damn, where is it at? There we go. Yeah, I need to buy some sandpaper too. Running a bit low. All right, let me get this sandpaper on the block. And we'll get to blocking. See what we got. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We got our paper on a long block, 120 grit, because that's what I got. I'll just get the sanding. And you know, just want to keep going and get as much of the powder off as you can without breaking through too far. And what you hope to end up with is a nice smooth surface. But again, you'll find spots where you might have something going on. And this could be either a potential low spot. So we'll see. We still got more sanding to do. Let's keep going. Not bad, not bad. kind of stop there, take a step back and take a look at it. Overall, it looks pretty good. As you see, most of that black is gone. And in some spots, we broke through to a little bare metal, back to the filler, etc. But also keep in mind, we didn't put a whole lot of primer on the car. We knew we were going to do this, so we just kind of used thin coat, you know, two light coats of rattle can primer. So, and again, I'm no expert. I'm not perfect at this. I'm just doing things the way I know how to do them and what works for me. So it could be a better way to do it. This is just what I've learned in my experimentation, so I'm trying to share it with you. But as you can see, we're looking pretty decent. This back area, not so much. I had to sand on it a little bit more, but we could have some issues there. So we'll see. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and stop rolling on this particular take, put a little more work in and come back to you and show you where we end up. So hang tight. All right, everybody. So we're back. I blocked on it some more, and this is kind of what we ended up with. I'll give you guys the wide angle. And again, I only did the upper. I still need to do the lower quarter. But as you can see, it's pretty good. Not perfect, but we got some things that jumped out at us. Like anywhere where you kind of still see black, we know there's, you know, we could do a little bit better job to remove that. So, and I guess right here is the worst offense right here. That spot, that patch right there is low. And we got a couple little nooks and crannies. Some of this is subjective because it's in this radius crease and I didn't use the right block to really get all up in there. I already know I need to do some more finesse work to get that straight, but yeah. And part of this, we did another block on the car, so it's a little bit better in terms of flatness. You can see spots where we broke all the way through to the filler and even the bare metal in some spots. That's okay because we're getting one uniform flat surface. You know, it's blocking the entire length of the quarter. You can see another dark spot right there, low spot, etc. And I'm going to confirm those low spots with my paint stick. You know, I like to, or a straight edge, whatever you got. You know, you kind of lay it up against the side of the body and you'll be able to tell. I mean, in these cases, it might be really tough because this is very, you know, minor low spots, but this is enough to where it could make or break the paint job. If you didn't do this and you just left it like, oh yeah, it's flat enough, and you paint it, man, when the sun is shining and you look down the side of it, those little imperfections will jump out at you and you'll be disappointed. For sure if it's your car, and even if it's a customer's car, because you probably won't have very many customers doing work like that. So keep that in mind. It's okay to take the extra step and put a couple more hours into getting the car where you want it to be. So what are we going to do next is what you might be asking. So what I'm going to do next, I mean, in this, you could potentially just go ahead and throw some more powder on there and block it again. But since I broke through the bare metal and some filler, etc., what I want to do, or what I plan to do, is I'm going to go ahead and rattle can this area again, get some more primer on there. And once that dries, I'll come back and then apply some more powder and block it out again. With well, I also need to potentially apply a little bit of filler in the low spots. So I failed to mention that. But before we get there, and because they could be very minute low spots, I'm going to try to go ahead and hit it with some primer first to see what happens. And if I run into a situation where I still have those low spots in those areas, then I'm going to have to hit it with a little bit of filler or even the glazing putty. All right. So you don't want to be putting caking on filler, but at the same time, you want the car to be flat. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I honestly, I think this is where we're going to stop for today. But in the next episode, we'll continue and then move on gradually to the lower quarter and then the upper portion where I did some work too. It's just too hot and it's about to rain, and you know, I'm not about to kill myself today. So another day, guys, we'll get back to it. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, you hit that bell notification so you don't miss an episode. And yeah, share it if you feel like it, man. Let somebody else know that it's somebody out here putting in work on the old schools, and you may be able to learn something. Check out some of the older videos. Might be something you missed, etc. And consider being a member of the channel. There's all kinds of ways you can contribute and help keep things running here at Motor City Customs. But if nothing else, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video all the way through. You're a star for that, and I appreciate you. So with that said, I'm up out of here. We're going to end the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Signing off, Shawnee C at Motor City Customs. Stay safe, everybody. Peace. All right, just to close it out, guys, that's where we're ending up for today. We got some more primer on there. And yeah, might not look like much, but this is still forward progress. We got that upper quarter a little bit flatter than it was last time around, and we're going to keep on it until we know we got it absolutely nice, flat, straight. We got that door adjusted so we can see that we got a nice line flowing all the way through into the door. Even though we don't know what we're going to do door-wise yet, it's still worthwhile to do that so you had a peace of mind. You know, once you get another door, especially if it's an original door to a 62 coupe, you know that you're going to be in good shape. You know, it should line up unless it had extensive body work or something. But yeah, next step, like I mentioned, we're going to go to the lower quarter, which could pose the most challenges or have the most imperfections, and then we'll see. We'll take it from there and then get into the upper, mostly where you see all this white primer is where I did quite a bit of work. So yeah, we'll get into that. And hopefully that we should be able to get to that in the next video, because the upper, like I said, we're almost done. Once we hit this with some guide coat and block it again, bearing all, you know, some of the other things I told you I got to get in there with the proper block, like right here, we can still see we got some little nasty lumpy area I never finished. And that's another reason why I wanted this door on here to help me, you know, get that A1. And that kind of continues a little bit through. Again, the trim covers that up, but it's my car and I'm gonna know it's there. So I want to make it right. And I got a couple spots on the upper right there, you know, little stuff, right? Most people aren't going to show you this, but this is all the stuff that it really takes to get it right. You know, you can be sloppy and leave it like that and throw trim over it, and plenty of people do. You know, oh yeah, I'm just working in the yard doing what I can, but man, just have some pride in your work and just do it right. It doesn't take much. Just get the right tools and have a little bit of patience and just crunch it out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it right the Motor City way. So that's it, guys. Wrapping up, signing out, and we'll see you again in the next one. Like, share, subscribe, and be safe. Peace.